we're live. That should have done it. Let's see. Is that going? Off? Yes. Alright. How do I manage that? Oh dear. Live, and there we go. Right, how do I check it? Go live. There we go. Alright, let me on. I'm live now. Right, get off of there. Get off of there. There we go. Right. Get off of stream. Manage. There we go. There we go. Right, I'm on it now. Let me link this up. 1 minute. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Right. I need to go back there. That should be doing something now. Right, your stream quality. I know I can see that. How do I go back to the scene? I need to see what I'm looking at. Oh my god, what is it doing? There we go. Right, I can see it now. Right, let me go to this. Go. Right. Let me. Why is that froze? Well, that's good, isn't it? Well, that's a good camera. There we go. Right, it's back. Okay. Let's do this now. Up on here. I'm not a professional yet. I've only just set it up. Right, let me put some that in the background. There we go. Right. Go for it. Is there anyone messages I'll have to... Yeah. Right. Let's go for it. Yes. Right, let's go. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry about the delayed start, but now we're here. We're going to be doing our 10-day forecast. Just wanted to mention, as before we start, hello, Stephen, how are you doing? I've had a few troll comments, some bad comments. They won't be tolerated out. You just get blocked. Yeah, some quite hurtful comments on the channel. Yeah, you will be blocked, and I won't be having them sort of comments on my channel. Thanks, Danny, for letting me know it's working. Today we're going to be taking a look at the main models, and we'll just see how it goes, really. I'm going to start off. The 12Z runs have just come out. Things have stopped now. Okay. Let me just move. So professional. Right, we'll go with this. If you do enjoy the stream, then make sure to like and leave a like and subscribe if you find it helpful. Obviously, we know for the next few days it's going to be very dry and mild. Winds are up from the south. Very mild. Look, so next week looks quite solid. If you've got any plans for next week, 4 people in here. Thank you all for watching. Winds are up from the south or the southeast, so quite mild, quite dry as well. Round about the 10th of November, things might take a change. Still working for you. Oh, that's all right. Obviously, this is just a start stream just to see how things go. The high pressure does get towards Greenland on this run, which I haven't seen from many. Keeping it mainly dry. As you can see, easterly winds are migrating into Scandinavian areas such as Norway and Sweden. We're on the edge of that, and we're protected by this high pressure. So we kind of stay under the high pressure. Winds do come in from the east for the far southeast of the country, so a slighter, cooler pocket of air does move in. For the rest of the country, however, it still remains very dry, and high pressure sticks around the country, really, till eventually, about the 15th of November, the low pressures do eventually break through. The Atlantic comes back, and this which you might have seen from the thumbnail, this very deep area of low pressure moves in over the country, which would bring strong winds. Winds are from the northwest as well, but which would bring strong winds to northern areas such as Scotland and northern England as well. Would bring bouts of rain. So the dry period would not last long. This would be unsettled, but obviously because it's so far out, it's unreliable. It's very unreliable. You never know with these patterns what can happen. If they can't get it right 10 days ahead. 6 people watching. Thank you all for watching this stream. Hopefully everything's okay. I'll beat a cup of tea. There we go. So, yeah, that's that one. So, if we look at the temperatures, this is 1,500 meters above sea level, so 1,500 meters aloft. Temperatures are very warm. Obviously, at the surface, it won't translate to that. But temperatures could be expected to get, even in mid-November, upwards of around 12 to 15 degrees. There are brief cooler sectors, like I mentioned, for the southeast, but things won't be prolonged or won't last very long. The high just sits around the country on this run, and eventually the Atlantic breaks through, bringing a much fresher air mass, even mixing the -5 line in with this low, which would bring fun and games, but because it's so far out, it's unreliable. And yeah, low pressure sticks around the country. So that's that. GEM. We'll go through very quickly. Again, high pressure in, very dry. Low pressure systems might try and move in from the west. However, they don't make much of an input. And we stay very much under a very mild ridge, or a very mild high pressure system. Sits around the country, and again, the 10-degree ice firm is locked in to the country, so it looks like a prolonged spell. Looks like a prolonged mild spell. 9 of you watching here, thank you all so much. As you can see, temperatures on the surface are only 12 to 13 degrees, 14 degrees. Obviously, this is a low-res model. Far southeast might see 15 degrees. But as you can see, there's a slight variation between the models, but things are pretty knocked on. Some days could even reach 16 degrees in southern and western regions. Far southwest there, seeing 16 degrees, which is pretty decent for the time of year. Finally, go on to the ECM before we move on to some longer range stuff, and we'll have a look at the ensembles. But I'll have to very quickly. Winds are up from the south. That's pretty good. So again, very mild Thursday. Thursday looks like the best day to me. Winds are up from a direct south or southwesterly, bringing in very mild conditions, to be honest. And then towards the end, obviously, a little bit different to the other runs. The high pressure does sit over the top of the country. As you can see, the high pressure is towards Scotland, and winds around the high will be coming in from sort of an easterly, northeasterly. However, it's coming from the Atlantic, so it's still very warm. As you can see, milder air masses wrapped in, so it looks very mild for the next 10 days. Should we have a look at the CFS? This is obviously an experimental run, but it's fun to have a look at. I think it's just updated. It's only updated to 1100 hours, but it's fun to look at. So obviously it's going to show a similar thing for the next 10 days. How does this deal with the low pressures moving? So it doesn't bring it in as quick as the American model today. Around day 12, starts bringing low pressure systems, cooler air masses, and as you can see, actually some deep lows just going to the south. I'm so sorry, everyone. Bringing in winds from the east into central and southern and southeastern regions, which brings cooler air masses in, obviously. But if you look at this, it's quite mild for a long time. Cooler air masses move in for a time, but they're not prolonged. Slight ridges, which build over the top into the east of the country. Pretty similar to what we've got now, just dry and quite relatively mild. As you can see, winds at this point, 5th of December, as we go into the actual winter, are coming up from the south or southwest. So obviously that's a very mild wind direction. So it could be a mild December. Should we have a look at Christmas very quickly? Well, it looks like it's going to go cooler at this point. There you go. Mid-Atlantic ridge on the 14th of December. Obviously, just for a bit of fun, this. High pressure builds towards Greenland. Low pressures towards Scandinavia. And winds are in from the north or the northeast. So obviously that's going to be bringing a chill. Could be some snow showers in northern and eastern regions. And the -5 line comes flooding in. And all of a sudden, the -10 comes flooding in as this block sustains. And we bring a very deep area of low pressure just towards France. And we'll bring in winds from the northeast still, with this blocking off Atlantic weather systems from moving in. And yes, -10 line moves in. -10 ice firm is sustained. This looks like a very cold spell if this came off. To the end of the run, even Christmas Day. Wow. Christmas Day looks cold with this, if this came off, but I'm sure it won't. Even with this, winds are in from the northwest, so pretty cold, really. Cheers everyone for watching. We've got six likes on the stream. Can we Can we? I mean, 6 watchers. That's brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone. If you enjoy this stream, then make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to help it grow. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, and I very much appreciate your support. If you've got any questions or anything like that, then please do let me know. And we can also see I'm going to ping up some of the latest subscribers on here. So Roger Aslock, Cav, and Mid-Ton are the 3 latest subscribers I have had. So thank you very much. They're obviously people that have had their subscriptions public. But thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. There we go. They're just popping up now. Right. So we'll take a quick look at the ECM charts. They've just come out as we speak. Pull them up very quickly. There we go. So charts, there we go. And then extended range. They've just released. Cold Christmas Day. That one, yeah, definitely. It's been very mild. That does actually look quite cold. Especially for Boxing Day. With this low just to the southeast, which would be bringing in snow, like maybe even prolonged spells of snow to the southeast, but obviously it's not going to happen. It's a long way off. Let's have a look what these charts show. So obviously I show these a lot in my videos and they do quite well. So this is week 1, the 4th to the 11th of November. These are mean sea level pressure anomalies. So these are above the sea, 1,500 meters above sea level. And as you can see, high pressure centered towards Scandinavia and winds are coming up from the south. Obviously very mild, very dry. And obviously you can just see this cold pool just to our east. It's a bit of a shame really. It wasn't shifted towards us like it was showing at first. Sudden change in the model, sudden shift in the jet stream, and it created chaos with modelling it. Week 2 is the 11th to the 18th of November. Will the mild spell continue? Let's have a look. Well, it looks like it will with this. High pressure doesn't quite get to Greenland. It stays 6 over the top of the country. Very mild, very dry. Could even be frost and fog. Have a look. Well, this actually shows on the 500 HPA heights. Yeah, I bet it ends up wet and windy. Oh, wow, 10 viewers. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This shows high pressure actually going up towards Greenland. So winds could come from a slack northeasterly. I assume that this is wrong and this is correct. I reckon temperatures will be above average. Yeah, 1 to 3 degrees. So we're still going to be bringing in mild air masses, and it's going to be very dry as well. I can bring up the precipitation, I think, on this. Let's have a look. We'll bring that up for you. No problemo. Week 1, dry than average. Week 2, dry than average. Yeah, very dry. Looks like a very dry spell, which will please some of you, I'm sure. Week 3 actually looks quite interesting for coldies. This is the 18th to the 25th of November. High pressure centered towards the southern part of Greenland. Cheers for watching, Stephen, and thank you, bye-bye. Thanks for watching. High pressure centered just towards Greenland, low pressures towards Scandinavia, and winds with that will be coming in from a pretty chilly northeasterly, northerly wind there. Again, 500 HPA charts do show the same pattern, a mid-Atlantic ridge extending towards Greenland, low pressure towards Scandinavia, and winds are in from the north. Pretty cold there. You'd expect the temperature anomalies to go below average. They're not. Oh dear. Wind temperature anomalies are slightly above average. About 1.5 degree to 1 degree above average, really, with that. This will be week 4, the 25th to the 2nd of December. Again, low pressure centered towards Scandinavia. Don't know about Greenland. There's some high pressure ridging towards Spain, which could allow southwesterlies to be reintroduced. Little bit unsure with that chart. Let's see if there's any more information with the 500 HPA charts. So that one does actually look like it will bring in westerlies with high pressure centered just to the south. And as you can see here, temperature anomalies, yeah. Again, 1 to 3 degrees above average. Looks like a prolonged mild spell with the ECM ensembles. The ECM run today for 6 weeks. This is week 5, the 2nd to the 9th of December. Well, this looks very bland and boring. High pressure to the south, low pressure to the north. The winds are in from the west or possibly the northwest southeast tilt with the alignment of the high. That would depend on the positioning of the jet stream. The jet stream is the system. If you don't know the jet stream, and I'll tell you all what it means, is the system which brings in all of our low pressure systems. So when we get wet and windy weather, normally we get low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and the lows kind of rattle in from off the Atlantic like this. And they allow wet and windy and unsettled weather to return to the country, and that's the prolonged and most normal weather pattern we get in the UK. So that's what you'd normally expect to happen. And obviously these will probably show the same thing. So if we have a look there, temperature anomalies for the 2nd to the 9th are again above average, not too much of a deviation. Didn't check out these, for example, sorry about that. So obviously wetter to the east. I still think week 3 could actually be colder than average with that. Week 4 looks wetter than average, like I mentioned, and week 5 looks slightly wetter to our west. So again, unsettled conditions are probably likely with this. Week 6, the 9th to the 16th of December, not much changes. Low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south. 13 watchers, thank you all for watching. Low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and winds again are in from the west. So again, mild. Nothing much to say about that. Yeah, and as you can see on here, yeah, mild as well. Winds actually on this are from the southwest. See, it's a long way off, so it's uncertain, but I would assume that this is correct. Temperature anomalies, 1 to 3 degrees above average, pretty typical for the climate we've got right now. And again, wetter than average. What more can you say about that? Well, we'll have a look at the ensembles. Just give me a minute, 1 minute while I do this very quickly. And put this on here. And we can have a look at the diagrams as well. Put in a random location, so we'll just put in Birmingham, central location. There we go, and we'll show that now. There we go. And as we can see, temperatures are going above average, as you'd expect, really. Not much change, not much of a change really in the overall pattern. Saying above average, there's a few colder runs, but it's not likely. Snow depths, there's 1 run, so shows it's going to be quite mild air masses. How's the cup of tea? Very nice, thank you. Yeah, it's very good. 14 of you in here. Thank you, everyone, for checking in, tuning in. Let's have a look at the how the other ones compare. Got the icon one here, and the UK Met. UK Met only goes out to 7 days. Sorry. Yeah, wind's very dry from the south. Bit more of a low pressure influence from the UK Met Office, to be honest. Low pressure is centred towards Scotland there, so we'll be bringing quite unsettled conditions to Scotland, with heavy rain possible. And cooler air masses possibly migrating in. Still above average, I mean, what more is there to be said? It's just going to be a milder than average. And the icon, finally, doesn't show that low pressure moving in, and keeps the southwesterly flow moving in. Mild air masses. Not much more to say, really. Yeah, it looks like a prolonged mild spell. So, what do we all think to that then? JMA, does that show anything different? Not particularly. Some even warmer air masses there. Warmer? Who would I think I am? Warmer air masses there from the 12th on the 7th of November. 10 degree ice firm. So, again, warm. Not much more to be said, really. That's on the 7th of November, so this week definitely does look great for milder conditions. 14, 15, 16 degrees possible, especially in southwest on this run. And Scotland's also mild as well, 13, 14 degrees. Not much more to be said. Take a quick look at the precipitation. This is the UK Met Office for the next 5 days. So obviously this is going from Sunday the 3rd, so today. Very dry, few drizzly patches for northwestern regions, northwestern Scotland and parts of England for the morning tomorrow. Again, very dry, not much to report apart from parts of Scotland, to be honest. Parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland are seeing drizzly conditions. Lots of walking this week then, yeah, definitely. I do lots of walking anyway, don't need to worry about it. 16 of you in here. Cheers all. And let's have a look. So, again, not much to report. Quite dry. Parts of eastern England might see a few patchy, drizzly patches. Could obviously in this thick cloud be some drizzly patches. They're hard to forecast, as you'd expect. But yeah, a few drizzly patches. There's a little bit of heavier rain, possibly into the Isles in northwestern regions of Scotland. Very dry picture though. Scattered showers. Might be a bit more heavy. For the Republic of Ireland, with some heavier interludes on Friday. Long way off though, so you don't even know if this could happen. UKV was the one which was bringing in the wetter conditions around the Saturday next weekend. So this would bring in some heavier spells of wet weather, especially for northern and western regions. The rest of the country looks quite mild, to be honest. It's just Scotland and Ireland which is being hit by the by this rain, and as you'll see by the temps, it's mild at the surface. Not much to report on really. Very mild surface conditions. You can see there's the warm air masses. They're just getting into parts of eastern regions, which is where the rainfall could be. So yeah, that's really it. Not much to report on this time, but anyway, this was just a little bit of a test stream just to see how if I knew what I was doing. And that's really it. And actually bring you these other chats. Let's see if I can find them really quickly. If I go on, so we obviously will look at the extended again when it loads. Come on, Wi-Fi. Oh dear, might not be able to load this. Oh yeah, there we go. Long months. If we go, let's see what this is saying. 2 meter temperature anomaly. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. Let's have a look. Oh wow, it's one of them. Most likely category of 2 meter temperature. Mild of an average. Mild of an average, mild of an average, and mild of an average. That's it then. Mild of an average. That's all I can say. That's all it says for the whole of the winter and even into spring. So, take with that what you will, but it doesn't look great for anyone, does it? Right, let's scroll down here and see if there's any other ones. I do use these sometimes, and I will start using these for forecasts when I get better with them. I'm going to actually show you, finally, this what I've started using. Where is it now? It's so laggy, I don't know what's going on. Weather regimes. I have featured this on my last long range forecast. I will be more organised than this in future ones, don't worry about that. So as you can see here, block is the most common up to the 15th of November, which suggests to me that you'd have, well, a block towards Greenland, bringing down cooler or even colder air masses. All this block means is that the high pressure is centred over and just to the north of the country, which means that it's very dry and mild with winds from the southwest most of the time. And as you can see, as we go through November into December, it's not an overwhelming majority, but as you can see here, things do look to turn more unsettled with a positive NEO, which means the most common winds, so westerly winds, northwesterly winds, bringing lots of unsettled bands of weather into the country, which is our typical weather pattern. But as you'll see around between the 16th and the 22nd of November, Atlantic ridging is the most dominant of these charts from the ECM ensembles. An ensemble is just all of the members, which is 52, comprised into one chart of what they are showing on a particular day. So as you'll see here, Atlantic ridging is the most dominant, which is where you see, I don't know if I can find it now, on the CFS, the one I showed you, which is like, oh, cold Christmas, woo. This is what I mean by an Atlantic ridge. There we go. So that is an example of an Atlantic ridge, where it's towards, well, it's centered towards the Azores, and it's migrating northwards, creating a block in the Atlantic. That's what Atlantic ridge is, mid-Atlantic ridge, which is where it's stuck to the high towards Spain and extends northwards, blocking off the Atlantic. That's what it is. So that's quite interesting if you get patterns like that. And they can result in cooler conditions. Let's have a look at the average really quick. This will be mild, I'm sure. Yeah, winds are in from the south the whole time. So not very interesting there either. Well, let's have a look at the control run as well. In fact, this one actually shows more of that sort of Atlantic ridge. There's this low here, which is disturbing the flow, bringing in more wetter conditions, and northwesterly winds are returning, and northerlies there, but colder air masses do move in, but they won't last long. They're not sustained. The high pressure's toppling in. So the weather this week, sorry, I feel like I've rambled a little bit, but they will be more organised as I do more of them. The weather, at least for the next 10 days, looks mild. Mild of an average and dry of an average as well, so get out. Well, I'd suggest getting out in your garden, and if you've got any last minute plants or anything, then and sort them out before the winter comes. What I've just seen from the ECM charts showed that it'd be milder than average. Can't believe there's 10 of you in here, by the way. Thank you all so much for tuning in. But from what I've seen today from these charts, it's biased towards milder than average, as you'd expect. It's very rare that it goes colder than average, I'll be honest. You saw on the third week there was that low pressure towards Scandinavia, like here, and high pressure centred towards Greenland, which would bring in the northeasterly wind, but it wasn't going for a colder than average pattern for that week. So, answers on a postcard with that one. It is quite a biased model, to be honest. They do tend to trend warmer than average, and you'll have to remember that at the end of every single run, they do. Every single one of these members, they always try and revert back to the default pattern, which is winds in from the west and unsettled and warmer than average. It's default. It's the UK patterns. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this this live stream. I enjoyed doing it. This might become a weekly thing. Depends how this one did, and I think it did quite well from what I'm seeing. 14 of you in here. If you did enjoy the stream, then please do remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I found this video helpful. I know it was a bit waffly, but just wanted to go with it, really. There will, if I do these live streams, it probably will be on a Saturday or a Sunday night. Obviously, time permitting. And I'm going to try and do 3 videos a week, which will be like a 10-day forecast, long-range forecast, especially for the winter months. And if there's any, like, I don't know, snow updates or anything, can't forecast snow, that's me. I'm the best at that. Then we'll take it up. Thank you very much, Danny, for the nice comments. Yes, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next stream.